Hello and welcome. This is Eliza Bloom Robinson, and this call is Humanity for Governance. And I wanted to spend just a couple of moments really talking about what that is in my experience and how it really came to be birthed and what my intention is. So, a couple of months ago, when we start kicking into, well, we've been in our election season for, I think, 3.5, 4 years, but at any rate, a couple of months ago when things started getting a little bit more heated, we were probably still had quite a few Democratic candidates that we were in the primaries, and we were moving towards all of that, and things started getting stirred up. And somebody said to me, I just keep seeing you in politics. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. And then a few weeks after that, I'm on my walk, I'm meditating, I'm opening to expand. I'm all about, expanding into the quantum and hanging out in the quantum and being the biggest, boldest, most brilliant becoming us that I can be in any given moment. And out of nowhere, you know how that happens, right? Out of nowhere, this thing sort of landed in me and it said, once this election is done, there's a real work to be done that is over and beyond and bigger than and underneath and expanded and above and all of that. That is not about political party. So it's like more than bipartisan, because that's still very much political party, but it is like this bigger, broader, like for humanity, like for the people, the way our government was actually designed to be created. So fast forward a week ago, a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago now, somebody said to me, I'm in this group, I'm in this consciousness group, and we play in the quantum field, and we do some really amazing, brilliant things out there, like really out there. And it came up again, and the same person said, I keep seeing you in politics. And I had my same reaction, like I think my face blanched, like, well, no. And I did this. I said, oh my gosh, no, I don't think so. I don't know what that's about. So I'm saying this, right? And the only way it would be is if it was a humanity for governance. And then the other gals on the call were like, oh my gosh, yes, yes, yes. And I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, right? Like we do. But it landed, it sparked again. It was landed already, it sparked. And we have recently written a book. We've done a collective book. I actually did an interview on it earlier today. Love Letters from the Future, written by the Bright Future Collective. And that's collaboration. Each one of us, 13 of us, I think, received a love letter from the future. Sometimes our future self, sometimes the future itself. Anyway, it's fabulous. So we play in that realm. So we started playing with what would humanity for governance look like? What would a bright new future look like in the realm of governance? And for me, it was all about like the current structures that we have are no longer, right? I don't know how, I don't know what the how is, but the economic structures, the political structures, the party structures, the pharmaceutical structures, I said economics, the healthcare structures, all of those structures and systems that don't work very well for all people have been eradicated, dissolved, disappeared, released. And when I feel humanity for governance, I feel that it is humanity, each and every one of us, for all people. And that's a foundational piece. It has to be for all people. A world that works for all. In the Unity Movement, we took that phrase up, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I don't know, I don't remember, like a long time. A world that works for all people. So that's sort of ingrained in my beingness. When I lean towards the future, that's what I see. When I lean towards a future, what I see is that we stand individually but collectively for the greater good of all. Now that's not about like compromise, because compromise is like lose-lose, right? Even though we say it's win-win, it's like lose-lose. It's much more than that. It's collaborative. It's a lifting up. It's a vibration. It's an energy field that is and 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 in that field, there is creativity, there is innovation, there is an awareness of how every action impacts the ripple effect. And in that innovation and creativity, there is collaboration, there is like everything works. And if something comes up as a problem or an issue, then we just put it into the field. But we put it into the field leaning towards, and this is another fundamental aspect of this space, leaning towards turning the world towards a miraculous outcome. So what's a miraculous outcome? It's beyond what I can see. It's beyond what I can figure out. It's beyond what I can think up. And so a miraculous outcome, and the idea of that is like, what if this turns out as a miraculous outcome? What if we can zing up the possibility of a miraculous outcome? Like not figuring out what that miraculous outcome would look like or feel like or smell like or taste like, right? But leaning into this field, into the quantum field, the field of the divine mind, if you will, the field of creation itself, and zinging up miraculous outcomes. Like you see how that just can like lift the energy, just like raise the vibrations, like, ooh, brings a curiosity, it brings an excitement, it brings an exhilaration. And that's what we're doing here. So those are some of the fundamental pieces. The other piece is I am doing that in vibration, working with vibration and frequency for years. And recently I've gotten a hold of this little vibrational device, this frequency device. And it is, it uses the technology of Tesla. It uses the technology of the quantum field. It uses, I've just read a little piece that I'd written down a little while ago, and then I lost it just from my mind just now, but it uses it uses quantum. It just uses the quantum. And so this little device has over 144,000 frequencies in it. And the one that I bought has the ability to send frequencies through the quantum to any person, place, thing, event with the highest and the best intention. So if we are turning our world towards the miraculous and we're using that as our intention for this humanity for governance, turning the world towards the miraculous for the United States and the world, other countries, I'm connected with people in all kinds of different countries. There's lots going on politically. There's lots going on in environmentally. There's lots going on in governments. There's lots going on still with the coronavirus. There's lots going on in the world. So we're focusing right now on this time frame between now and a week past our United States election, but we're not limited to the election or to the United States. So I want to just be clear about that. So I have created a client in my device, and we are going to do some resonance field. We're going to first take the aura analysis. And whether you're watching this recording now, whether you're here now or you're watching the recording, know that you can receive these vibrations. And all you have to do is set your intention and then just feel them as they come in. If you're curious about this device, just message me. We can hop on a call. I can talk a lot more about that, but this isn't about really that. It's about using that technology to lift our vibration. So we set as our intention right? We take a few minutes to do that, a few moments really. So we call the container. Everybody who is in this group currently, everybody who is going to join this group, everybody who is here on this call and not on this call, we set the intention that this group is the container. You know what? I'm going to add a new client. I'm going to add as a new client this particular group, Humanity for Governance. And we're going to call it a group. Let me just take a moment to do this. We're going to call it a group. We're going to call it Humanity for Governance. And we're going to make it as our foundational date. We're going to put in as today. And we're going to put the place of the foundation. We're going to go to Zoom is the place of our foundation, the place where we gather. And I will add the image that we're using on the Facebook group as our picture. So as of now, everybody who is already in this group and everybody who will join us over the next few weeks is a part of this group now. So I'm going to hold the device in my hand. I'm going to record our group vibration. I have to get my Bluetooth back on. Oops. The group vibration, the picture, and the intention of the group and the group vibration are identifiers. It's not necessarily telling us where our group vibration is in this moment, but it is a identifier so that when we do the group work, we identify the group. So it is recording our vibration. Oops, already done. And then we're going to do an analysis. We're going to do an aura analysis on this group. Oops, hold on. I knew I should have had this set up. I have to do this just again real quick. Didn't quite get it all saved, so. Bear with me. Data foundation is today, place of foundation, Zoom. I will add the picture and I will record the vibration. So I'm holding it, we're recording the vibration. It's recorded and I will save it. That's the part that I missed. Okay. Yes. So we're doing an aura analysis and this is for the group. So I'm just going to capture it. Okay, I'm just going to take the photo right here and then I have to add that in. So I'll add that in. That's good. There we go. That'll work for now. And then we're going to record the aura. So I just simply hit the record aura. And then we get an interpretation. We can also do an analysis. So this will show us where our different chakras are. So that we look at the 3 lowest chakras, which are forehead, throat, and root. And so we're going to do an analysis for that. But before we do that, we're going to add, we're going to do the analysis. And then we're going to add our intention in there. So we're working at the throat and the root. And then we get a lot of description here. I can read that. So for our root chakra, our present state description says, at work, the person has a strong need for harmony. They give of themselves to the company and colleagues and forget their own needs. With this pattern, they often experience disappointments until they decide to just concern themselves with their own being without concern for colleagues or company. When people are faced with this outer or inner bullying, which is seen as a willingness of others' soul, they are finally forming their own roots. So if we look at that as we're really raising the vibration for humanity for governance, it really kind of, it makes sense there. For the brow, the third eye, says this person, which means group, believe they have to have a relationship with a master in order to have spiritual experiences, or the person sees themselves in relation to the spiritual experiences of others. They measure themselves with the spiritual experience of others. They feel their own spiritual awareness is not sufficient. So isn't that interesting? Because really this is about spiritual awareness. And the third one is the root. It says nutrition is being recognized for what it is, and it's not being sensed as a safety aspect anymore. This person is now ready to be self-sufficient. All right, so I'm going to put our intention in. I have to type it in. We are turning the US and world towards a miraculous outcome. We are turning the US and the world towards a miraculous outcome. So have it there as our desired state. We're going to save that. And then we're going to vibrate. And this is the part, this is where what I really feel is like the magic of this work. So we're going to vibrate these energies, the vibrational frequencies of these desired states into the bioenergetic field of this group that is formed as of now. And we're going to do it for 1 minute, 20 seconds. So if you're watching the recording, moment to just breathe, to close your eyes, to feel this group, Humanity for Governance. It is our intention to turn the US and the world towards a miraculous outcome. And then we start the vibration. So just feel, hold the intention. And that is complete. So what did you notice? Did you experience anything? Did you have an insight? Did you feel a vibration? Did you feel a frequency? Did you feel a quickening? Did you have a thought or a vision or a sense of something? For me, I found it to be really interesting. We were doing the brow and the throat and the root, but I could feel this, like my heart was expanding, and what I had this sense of, it's like as, oh wow, as we open our hearts, right? Because a lot of what's going on in our world right now is we're closing our hearts. We're closing it in fear. We're closing it in judgment. We're closing it in defensiveness. We're closing it in, whatever. We're protecting our heart. But instead, what needs to happen, or what will support the system, the world in a better way is if we can lean to the edges, like the defensiveness of our heart, the edges, right? The barriers. And we can breathe into that and we can simply begin to expand it out. And as we expand our hearts out, we open our eyes, we open ourselves to feel the vibration, the frequency, a miraculous outcome. But it's like wherever it is that we're hanging out vibrationally, and there's a lot of density in the world, we've lifted it. And in that lifting, we move beyond, and this is sort of what I was seeing earlier today too. It's like we have these poles, right? The yes and the no, the white and the black, the hot and the cold, and there is no space. We're so polarized. Doesn't even matter which side you're on, right? We are polarized. But as we raise the vibration, as we move into the frequency of miraculous outcomes, humanity for governance, we transcend the polarities, and the space is big enough to hold both. We transcend the other and come into oneness. It doesn't mean we think the same. It doesn't mean we don't have opinions, but it does mean that we activate a field, a vibrational field, where we can learn and see and grow by others' opinions rather than just shutting them out. And that's where the magic will happen in the world. So I got that in a minute 20, right, of doing this vibration. So my intention is to do these vibrational frequencies on a daily basis, and once a week, kind of, sort of. This time didn't seem to work that well for people, so I'll try some different times. We'll do a live Zoom call and we can do some vibrational alignment and we can do some specifics. I'll be working with the same intention, the same frequency for at least a few days. And I'll be, when I transmit it, basically, when I activate it, it goes into the whole field. So you can activate it, you can receive it anytime that you get quiet and recall our intention, humanity for governance. We are turning the world and the US towards a miraculous outcome. So I would love to know how that is for you, how that was for you. I'd love to know what's moving in your heart and your mind and your energetic field. So message me, email me, comment. When I post this, I'll post it as a YouTube video. Comment, because I really like to be in some conversation, because I know there's a lot of questions about how do you do this and how does it work and all of that. So let's really build this energy and this community from who we are to who we are becoming so that we can have a national and global impact. So that's it for now. Questions, comments, please comment. Message me. Most of you know how to reach me. So reach out individually if you'd like as well. That's fine. All right. So much love. Bye.